Welcome to this webinar, which provides information for higher education programme providers in supporting their completion of the application form for the Early Childhood Programme to meet the requirements of the Professional Award criteria and guidelines. Professional Award criteria and guidelines. In this regard, the Qualifications Advisory Board, the QAB, has been jointly instituted by the former Minister for Education and Skills and the Minister for Children and Youth Affairs on a non-statutory basis. The board is tasked with reviewing initial professional education level 7 and level 8 degree programmes for the early learning and care, the ELC sector. The creation of the board follows the publication in April 2019 of the Professional Award Criteria and Guidelines, the PACG, for initial professional education level 7 and level 8 degree programmes for the early learning and care ELC sector in Ireland. Qualifications Advisory Board links. The Professional Award Criteria and Guidelines is available on the Department of Education website on the QAB webpage. Links are provided in English and Irish to the application forms, the reviewer forms, the list of approved programmes, and membership of the Qualifications Advisory Board. Part 1 of the application. We would like to draw your attention to Part 1 of the application in advance to support you in completing the application form. This section provides an introduction to the essential content for the Professional Level 7 and Level 8 awards. It emphasises, for programme applicants, the importance of consideration of personal and professional development experience for learners, consideration of clear and consistent programme objectives and outcomes, the importance of a range of teaching and learning approaches, individual, group and experiential learning, careful consideration of the qualifications and expertise of programme staff in the early learning and care field, the importance of a range of fair, transparent and consistent assessment methods with a balance of formative and summative assessment linked to learning outcomes, and the requirement for an incremental or spiral supervised practice placement experience. Application form sections. The application form is divided into 5 sections: institution details, details of the programme, details of programme delivery, details of professional placement. Additional information is requested to show the quality assurance mechanisms in place for the programme. Some of these sections are self-explanatory, and for some an asterisk details that additional information should be included. We will now take you through some of the information we require. Part 2, Sections 1 and 2. So Part 2, Section 1, application details on general programme information and contact information are straightforward as shown here on the slide. Section 2, details of programme tasks, asks for information on number of modules and contact hours per module. The asterisk denotes that if you need more room, you can provide this information as additional information. It is important, however, that Section 1 and Section 2 are fully completed in your application. Learner requirements section. The QAB are interested in learning if your programme has an advanced entry option, enrolls international students, or has an Erasmus placement. But please note this is not a requirement. We ask about the minimum English language proficiency, as in line with the requirements of the PACG. It is important to ensure that students have the necessary English to communicate throughout the course, and critically while on practice placements, working with children. Ensuring how your programme meets the highest government standards, providing samples of the following information, which is neither prescriptive nor exhaustive, can assist the QAB in determining how your programme is well managed. For example, information about programme boards, exam boards, faculty boards, perhaps academic council. In determining how the programme develops a sense of professional identity for learners and fosters a commitment to CPD and to lifelong learning, you could provide information on the following: mechanisms used to develop knowledge and discussion on current issues, connections with other groups in the home HEI and externally, communication about the value of ECEC to wider society. Again, this list is neither prescriptive nor exhaustive. It is important that a code of professional conduct for learners is included. Information into the procedures in place for the repeating of modules and practice placement should also be provided. It is important to advise if exit awards are available to students, because if so, it is important for the reviewers, for the QAB, to ascertain that students exiting early have met the required standard required by this PACG. Programme delivery section. When completing this section, please note that applications for approval at Level 7 and Level 8 programmes, which are qualitatively similar, with the exception of the level itself, can of course be submitted together. It is important that you include samples of the varied assessment instruments. As noted in Part 1, it is important that there is a balance shown between summative and formative assessment. Programme delivery. Please note that each programme in general is site-specific, refers to the site of delivery. This is an important consideration for programmes run for multiple sites, with perhaps different learning environments, course structures, teaching and learning practices, and staff. Programme objectives and learning outcomes for programme and modules should be clear. Primarily, staff must be qualified in ECEC and be research active. Please do include a CV for each staff member. Please also ensure you include a code of professional conduct for staff. Professional placement. 35% of the overall duration of the course must be allocated to structured, supervised, assessed professional placement practice in appropriate settings. There should be opportunities to students to work directly with children of varied ages and in varied setting types. Quality assurance mechanism section. This section at the bottom of the application form provides examples to you of the information you can submit to support your application. It is very important that you include your module lists for each year of your programme. A checklist at the end of the application form affords you an opportunity to verify that you have included all possible information to support your application. The programme review process. All programmes deemed to have met the requirements of the Professional Award Criteria and Guidelines will be listed on the Qualifications Advisory Board webpage. Programmes deemed not to have met the requirements of the Professional Award Criteria and Guidelines will be invited for resubmission. Guidance will have been provided by the reviewers to support this resubmission. Further information and guidance. We are always happy to answer your questions. Please email these to qab@education.gov.ie. Thank you.